In this video, I'm going to be talking about the power of being alone. Being alone is something that most people dislike. Now, what does that tell you? That tells us that most people are in bad company themselves. If I don't like being alone, what does that say? That I don't like myself? I can't just be by myself? I always need to be with someone else? That either says that I'm in bad company when I'm alone, right? Who am I with? Nobody but myself. Or it also says that I'm so dependent on other people that I need other people to be around them. There's a neediness, there's a clinginess, there's an attachment to others. And maybe that's why I actually fear being alone, is because I'm so attached to other people. It's almost like an addiction. I'm so dependent on other people. I'm so needy. I'm so clingy that in order to be alone, it feels like I'm breaking that attachment, like I'm severing that bond with others. And that's really what it feels like. That's what it feels like for most people. That's where most people say, I feel lonely. Feeling lonely and being alone are completely different, though. Feeling lonely is exactly that, is when you're almost going through a withdrawal of being around people because there's such a strong attachment to others, whether it be your family, your friends, your spouse, coworkers, or just other people. Because our ego really needs other people. It needs that reference. Without that reference of others, who are you? So that's loneliness. But being alone, there's great power. But if we can't get through that loneliness to be comfortable with being alone and enjoy being alone, then we really don't discover that power that's within us. The more and more you're alone, the greater the opportunity, the greater the chances you have at exploring yourself deeper, going further within to discover that power that's within you. People who are never alone, it's really hard to discover that power because the others that are around you, they're a great distraction. So they shift our focus from, instead of looking within, we're always looking without. We're always focused on our external and not the internal. By being alone, we're able to reflect. The more we reflect on ourselves, the more we're able to see ourselves. Ourselves as a whole. When we can better understand ourselves, because we're seeing more of it, then we gain deeper insights. Insights. An inner seeing. Seeing within. We're able to see within because we're going within. So we have a deep understanding because we have deep insights. Notice how the word is deep, because we're going within. We're going deeper within ourselves. We can see within. People who have deep insights, you would say they have a deep understanding of things. Why is that? It's because they're going further within themselves to understand themselves. They're becoming more and more aware They're going more and more into the unknown. And when you travel into the unknown, your awareness increases. Your intelligence increases. Your intelligence seems to stay at bay when all you experience is the known. Why would your intelligence need to increase? You know everything. This is the known. It's the comfort zone. It's only when we step out of the comfort zone into the unknown that the intelligence increases, that the awareness increases, because everything is unknown. You would like to have a high level of awareness in an unknown territory. You would like to have your intelligence be at its peak if you're in an area that's unknown, wouldn't you? Of course. So the more and more we go into the unknown, the more aware we become, the more intelligent we become. The more aware we become, the more we can see. So we can see more. And we can see more because we're going deeper within ourselves. So we're able to see things that other people can't see. We have a vision that other people can't, that other people don't have. We can see things that other people can't see. We can see much more clearer than other people. Because the deeper you go within yourself, the clearer you become. The clearer you become, the more you can see, both inner and outer. And this is only possible by being alone. When you're alone, it gives you time to go within. It gives you that opportunity when you're alone. Every time you're alone, you're always given that opportunity to go within. Every time you're alone, you're given that opportunity to know yourself better. If we're always around people, it's very easy to get distracted. If you find yourself always around people, then it's good to start integrating some time alone. You're around people, then break off and spend some time by yourself. I'm not saying that you need to go 7 days, a full week by yourself. I'm not saying that you need to leave your family and go into the forest or a cave. It's simply just having some alone time where there can be some self-reflection, some pondering, some contemplation, some meditation. And you'll find that the more you're alone, the more you can connect with a deeper level of yourself. And you can keep going and going and going. You can connect with your true self, your authentic self, the power within you, God, the source, the universe, whatever you want to call it. But it's when you're alone you can establish that connection. So that's the power of being alone. Being alone allows you to process a lot of the things that you're feeling, that you're thinking when you're around other people. Why am I always feeling like this when I'm around these people? And you break off. Now you're alone. You're kind of processing some of those things. You're reflecting on what other people were saying, how you maybe said some things, the experience in totality, and you're able to reflect on it, contemplate. Maybe you might have done something different. Why did that person react the way? Why did I react that way? There seems to be a focus on you more than others. See, most people, we're focused on other people. We're not focused on ourselves. The more we focus on ourselves, the more we can see ourselves. If I'm always focused on other people, I'm seeing other people, but I never see me. I tend to blame other people, but I never accept any responsibility myself. People who enjoy being alone, they're also very responsible. With responsibility comes great power. Responsibility is power. So there's a lot of things, obviously, that I'm touching on. Insights, vision, power, responsibility, reflection, meditation, contemplation, going deeper within myself, discovering deeper levels of myself, accepting more of myself, because as I uncover more and more of myself through exploring myself, I can then accept it. I start to be able to observe things within myself and out of myself, within and without. I start to be able to observe my mind, what I'm thinking, why I'm thinking it, how I'm thinking it, the type of patterns of thoughts. I start to be able to observe my emotions. What is this emotion? Why does this emotion keep on happening? What needs to be released? What have I not felt fully? What am I running from? What am I afraid of? What am I resisting? What am I holding on to? What am I clinging to? I start to observe all those things. I start to observe how my mind is lying to me, how it's deceiving me. I start to understand it better. All these things you start realizing, start seeing through self-observation, self-discovery, then you start having realizations that you're simply seeing things that have always been there. But if you're always around people, then they're always there, but you're always distracted. It's only till you shift that focus from out there to inward that you can start seeing what's always been there. So that you can stop resisting, that you can allow and accept and let go and not hold on. So you can watch the mind instead of being so identified with it. You can watch thoughts instead of identifying as the thoughts. You can allow emotions to come and go instead of suppressing and repressing emotions. You can allow life to happen instead of trying to escape life. So there's a great power to being alone. Being alone allows you to go on this great journey within yourself. Like I said, it's like you're exploring a whole universe within yourself. And it's a journey that only you can go on. And the more we find ourselves attached to so many people and around people all the time, that it's like we're distracted and we put off this journey. And it's a journey that is our destiny. We have to go on this journey to really discover what you really are. So there's a huge power, a great power of being alone. So it's good to integrate some alone time, because we're always in a busy society, at work, around colleagues, friends, family. It's good to have that alone time that we can integrate into our lives. That just like you plan time with friends to go to the movies, out for drinks, socialize, games, it's good to put in some alone time. Incorporate some alone time every day. If you can, wake up a little earlier. Maybe take some alone time on your lunch breaks at work. Whatever it is. You'll find that in that alone time, you'll start becoming more balanced. But in that alone time, don't look to distract yourself with consuming more content. Don't use more and more distractions. Just because you're not with people, don't add more distractions to you. Take a walk in nature. Leave the headphones at home. Leave the phone at home. And you'll find the more you incorporate, the more you integrate that alone time every day. Start off with 5 minutes. Do 10, 15, 20, whatever it is. Whatever you can at this time. Something is better than nothing for the situation. But you'll find that you're much more grounded, more stable, more balanced, because you're integrating some alone time. You'll start to see things more. You'll start to be able to process thoughts and emotions more. You will be able to reflect on your actions. You'll be able to observe your mind. And this is only possible when you have that alone time. At the start, anyways. After that, you start developing it. And like anything that you're just practicing, you get good at it. So then later on, you're able to watch your thoughts, allow emotions, watch emotions, accept yourself, accept others, reflect as the actions are actually happening in real time when you're with people in situations. And you develop what's known as more of a witnessing, where you can witness thoughts and feelings and actions, which then creates a little bit of distance between who you think you are and what you actually are. And it's this distance that gives you this sense of freedom, where you can be in the world but not of the world, where you don't get so entangled with everything else, where you're less reactive and you can now respond. You develop more peace, more tranquility, more happiness, more love, more freedom. The more and more this awareness, this presence, this witnessing, as it develops. So those are just a few things. And I can go on, but let's keep it there. That if you aren't already integrating some alone time, one that's distraction free, one that's entirely focused on you, not on consuming someone else's content, then try it out. Try integrating some alone time. Try just 5 or 10 minutes a day for the next week. And you'll notice, because you'll get that alone time to reflect, that you'll be able to reflect on, say, day 4 and start noticing that you're a little bit more calmer, or that there's this spillover after the alone time, that now you're a little bit more stable and balanced at the office, that you're a little bit more patient with your kids, that you're able to accept things a little bit more. A lot of benefits, too many to name, but try it. It's an invitation. It's an invitation to just not fear being alone. It's unnatural to not want to be alone. And to realize that loneliness and aloneness are two completely different things. And that maybe you might be at that point of feeling lonely, but it's just almost like a detox. It's like a purging. It's a letting go of that attachment to things so that you can become more comfortable just being alone. Because if you're alone and it's not a pleasant experience, then like I said, you're in bad company. So how you get through that is you're more and more alone. You stay being alone to allow more processing of what is that? What's that unnatural feeling? What's that uncomfortable? What's that restlessness? What's that irritation that seems to be arising? See, as long as that's coming up and we simply run back to our friends and our family and, oh, so hard being alone. I just needed to talk to somebody so I can take my mind off of what I was feeling. That's why people run away from meditation. That's why they don't like it. The thoughts are too much. The feelings are too much. They can't simply sit and be still and silent and just observe. But it's in that observation that there's a purification happening. It's just in the seeing with the awareness of what's happening that there is a purifying, there's a processing, there's a purging, there's a decompressing, whatever word you want to use. But it's very cleansing. We can't expect to then consume information, and not want to get rid of any of that, not want to take out the garbage to clean ourselves. And it's that alone time that there's a purification happening. That's why it always feels like after, like fresh, like lighter, like more expansive. But if you don't know what that feels like, then that's an invitation to integrate some alone time. And you start seeing that this alone time is very beneficial to your well-being. That you feel well, your overall wellness is enhanced and increased. And then that spreads to all areas of your life. And you can feel it and other people can feel it. So don't be so afraid of being alone.